Welcome to Paranormal or Reality. On today's video, we explore the most haunted places in America, Part 2. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's begin.
Would you dare visit a swamp where a voodoo priestess's final curse drowned an entire village and her vengeful spirit still sings through the cypress trees at night? Listen close, because this story might just chill you to the bone. In the early 1900s, deep within Louisiana's Manchac Swamp, lived Julia Brown, a powerful voodoo priestess feared and respected by all. She was known for her healing powers, but also for singing an ominous prediction: "One day I'm going to die and take all of you with me." The residents of Frenier village dismissed her words as the ramblings of an old woman until the day of her funeral in 1915. As they lowered her coffin into the ground, the sky turned black. A devastating hurricane struck without warning, flooding the entire village. Nearly 300 people perished in the rising waters, their bodies floating among the cypress trees, exactly as Julia had foretold. The village of Frenier was never rebuilt. Today, fishermen report hearing Julia's ghostly song drifting across the dark waters. Some witness shadowy figures gliding between the trees, while others feel invisible hands trying to pull them into the murky depths. The spirits of those lost that day still search for their homes, trapped forever in the cursed waters of Manchac Swamp. Have you ever heard singing in places where no one should be? Would you dare spend a night in Europe's most haunted tomb, where over 500 people have been violently attacked by an unseen force? The true horror of the Black Mausoleum awaits. In Edinburgh's ancient Greyfriars Kirkyard lies a sealed black tomb, the final resting place of Sir George Mackenzie, a ruthless judge who tortured and killed thousands in the 17th century. His cruelty earned him the name Bluidy Mackenzie, and even death couldn't contain his malevolence. For centuries, the tomb remained undisturbed until one cold night when a homeless man seeking shelter broke in, unknowingly awakening something terrifying. As he settled down to sleep, the temperature plummeted. Invisible hands seized his throat, leaving bruises that would last for weeks. He escaped, but this was just the beginning. Since that night, hundreds of visitors have been scratched, burned, and beaten by an unseen entity. Many collapse at the mausoleum's entrance, while others report being followed home by a dark presence. The attacks became so violent that authorities sealed the tomb, yet the hauntings continue. Today, only the bravest dare approach the Black Mausoleum, where Bluidy Mackenzie's spirit remains as merciless in death as he was in life. Have you ever encountered something that made you question what lies beyond the grave? Imagine a pocket watch that stopped at exactly 2:15 p.m. in 1944 and still ticks today, but only until that fatal hour. In the peaceful French countryside, Oradour-sur-Glane was once a vibrant village where children played and neighbors chatted in the streets. That all changed on June 10, 1944, when Nazi SS troops surrounded the village without warning. In just one afternoon, they murdered 642 innocent villagers, including women and children, leaving nothing but smoke and silence behind. The ruins stand exactly as they were that day, with rusted cars, crumbling walls, and abandoned homes telling their haunting story. Visitors often describe an overwhelming sadness that seems to seep from the very stones. But there's something even more chilling. People report hearing phantom footsteps on empty streets, distant echoes of gunfire, and most haunting of all, the steady ticking of ghostly watches throughout the village. These mysterious timepieces tick reliably until exactly 2:15 p.m., when all falls silent, marking the moment the massacre began. Today, Oradour-sur-Glane remains frozen in time, a memorial to lives lost and a reminder of humanity's darkest hours. Some say the village's ghosts keep their eternal watch, ensuring their story is never forgotten. What memories do you think these ruins still hold, waiting to be heard? Deep in the mountains of Kyushu lies a village so cursed it was deliberately erased from every map in Japan. But what really happened in the infamous Howling Village? Local folklore speaks of Inunaki Village, where an entire community vanished overnight under mysterious circumstances decades ago. The dense forest surrounding the area seems to swallow any trace of human presence, with countless stories of hikers and explorers losing their way among the twisted paths. Those who claim to have ventured closest tell of bone-chilling howls echoing through the mist, growing louder as night falls. Some witnesses describe encounters with shadowy figures, dressed in traditional clothing, who appear suddenly on the trail, warning travelers to turn back before vanishing into thin air. Most disturbing are the accounts of those who say they found the village ruins, ancient torii gates consumed by moss, dilapidated houses still containing personal belongings, as if the residents simply disappeared mid-meal. Yet no official records of Inunaki village exist, and local authorities refuse to acknowledge its existence. The few elderly residents in nearby towns grow pale at its mention, quickly changing the subject or hurrying away. Some believe a murderous cult was responsible, while others insist darker forces were at work that tragic night. What secrets lie hidden in those misty mountains? And would you dare to find out? They say if you light a match in Ontario's Screaming Tunnel at midnight, you'll hear the haunting cry of a child before darkness claims the flame. But what really happened here? Deep in the Niagara region lies an abandoned railway tunnel, its limestone walls forever marked by a tragic tale. Decades ago, a young girl fled into this very passage on a stormy night, seeking escape from an unspeakable horror. Local records tell of a fire that consumed both her innocence and her life, leaving behind only echoes of her final moments. Visitors who dared to test the legend describe a peculiar phenomenon. As their match illuminates the darkness, the temperature suddenly plummets. The flame begins to dance and twist, defying the stillness of the air. Then comes the scream, a sound so raw and terrifying it pierces the soul. In that instant, darkness returns as if the tunnel itself has exhaled. Paranormal investigators have documented unexplained shadows moving through the passage. Electronic equipment malfunctions without explanation. Some claim to feel small, cold hands brushing against them in the darkness. Most disturbing are the whispers, barely audible, pleading for help. Could this really be the spirit of a child trapped in eternal torment? Or is there another explanation for the screaming tunnel's mysteries? Light a match and find out if you dare. Would you dare explore a building where headless ghosts walk beside you bored, and your camera might capture more than you bargained for? Wait until you see what we found in Indonesia's most haunted colonial building. Behind the elegant facade of Lawang Sewu, 1,000 doors hide dark memories of World War II atrocities. This former Dutch railway headquarters in Semarang became a Japanese prison where countless souls met violent ends in its grim basement chambers. As night falls, the long corridors echo with unexplained footsteps that lead investigators on endless chases through the shadowy halls. During a recent paranormal investigation, something extraordinary happened. A lone researcher followed mysterious footsteps through the building's dimly lit passages, documenting everything on her camera. The footsteps suddenly ceased, and she found herself alone in an empty corridor. But when reviewing her footage later, she discovered a chilling truth. Throughout her entire recording, a translucent figure in a Japanese military uniform, missing its head, had been silently walking beside her. Security guards refuse night shifts here. Local residents hurry past after dark, The basement still bears witness marks of its brutal past. Some say the spirits of the executed prisoners never left, forever pacing the halls of their final moments. What would you do if you checked your camera and saw a headless ghost had been your companion all along?
Thanks for tuning in. Watch another video if you dare.